Market update is brought to you by Bet365.
So Taramansour, the favourite at $2.40, Jenkins at $7.50, Bet Red reading out at $8. Young hostess, let's have a look at her last performance, Matt. Can you tell us about this run?
Yeah, she ran second, I think, if it's the right replay on this occasion. She's been racing really well, particularly on this Ballarat synthetic surface. Beaten by a very smart synthetic horse in Heljami, who's in the light blue cap on this occasion. What I noted today is she's 6 weeks between runs, which is exactly the same pattern she followed into her most recent win on the synthetic, which was 2 starts back. So I don't know if it's by design or not. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but she's certainly run well off a 6-week break in the past. So she can win. Taramansour's been off the map, was $4 this morning when I put the tips in, now into $2.40. I think he's got a lot of upside. Nosed out last time out, looked like he was in front before and after the post. His stablemate Jenkins, both from the Kamani yard. Matt Kamani's got a stranglehold on this race. I think down in this sort of grade is going to be hard to beat. Grand Quill at a big price and Still Sky's next best.
OK, we're going to go to a quick break and then we're heading to the mounting yard for the running of the last at Sportsbet Ballarat.
This is the Bet365 Odds Drift Protector. For example, if you place a fixed win bet before the race at a price of $2.50 and the price drifts to $4 at the jump, Bet365 will give you the bigger price. Every race, every day. We're the world's favorite betting company for many reasons. Horse racing is just one of them.
Gamble responsibly.
Royal Symphony with a great turn of acceleration.
Royal Symphony's acceleration was what stood him above everything else.
Big win, Royal Symphony.
I'm sure he'll be able to stamp speed, and this will put him in good stead going forward as a stallion.
Hey, these bowls are from our first share house.
From the Nazi Goring dynasty.
Wait, where are the others?
Still over next to his car.
Ah, I miss you, baby.
Oh, look at your ties.
Still wasn't the biggest regret I had that day.
Has your betting ever gone too far? Take a sec before you bet and set a deposit limit, whoever you bet with.
The wait has ended for Endless Drama. He's got the pedigree, the performance, the looks. He's got the lot. The drama has ended. Book to Endless Drama. Standing at Larnham Stud Euroa. Call Neville Murdoch now.
Here he is, the statue of Davo.
Rig was in pretty good nick back then, mate.
Well, I sat on the bench for first grade that year.
Oi, guys, it's the lost keys of the Airbnb.
Hold up. Did you guys pay me back for that?
From when we won the quaddie on Caulfield Cup Day.
Yep, I remember I gave it all back and then some.
Have you ever got carried away on the punt? Take a sec before you bet. Set a deposit limit, whoever you bet with.
This mounting yard for the Dig Out Stakes is proudly brought to you by Saney. Moving tomorrow, today.
Righto, Matt, are we digging or are we okay?
No, we're digging. Got to dig really deep, TB. I've had a couple of bad beats today as well, which has added a bit of salt to the wound.
Yep, that happens. We're not perfect. Taramansour?
They're racing very well for the Kamani yard. Started its career over in the UK. Has had 2 runs this time in. No match for Hosier first up. A lot of horses won't be a match for Hosier. And then nosed out at this track and trip last time out. And to my eye was in front before and after the post. Looks ready now, third up. Just going to need a bit of luck off that inside alley.
Number 4 is Jenkins, the stablemate.
Into a much easier race than he's been contesting. Hasn't won for some time and he's on trial at the trip, but he was in the inferior ground there at Geelong late and I thought hit the line strongly in a benchmark 64 over 1700. So if he runs out the 2100, I think he's the main danger to his stablemate.
Rocky Raccoon.
Maps for a soft run here first up. He's had the one jump out that I've seen, a 1400 metre jump out. Went okay in third on the synthetic here at Ballarat. I think he'll be better with a run or 2 under his belt, but at least stays at home. Gee, big drifter, 13 out to 51.
Steel Sky, well, he should never have been $13 to start with, I don't think. Steel Skies improved at sale.
It was a really good run there. They went quite hard and was entitled to tire a little bit more than he did. The co-leader knocked up quite badly. Probably an advantage to be on speed there that day, which is the little negative. But he'll roll forward, he'll make his own luck, and I certainly think he can figure in the finish.
Accordingly, fail first up at Sandown?
Yeah, I wouldn't say failed necessarily, just probably unsuitable distance once this sort of 2100 metre trip today. I thought she hit the line okay there. The last couple of 100 metres was good.
Dance State number 11.
What are you laughing at? Going to be ridden quieter today, Dan State. Was up outside Still Skies in that sale race and knocked up quite badly over the concluding stages. So no surprise to see them announce they're going to ride Dan State a little bit quieter. Celine Gaudreau looking for yet another winner. I think she's going to need to be at her absolute best to get this mare over the line.
Dreambound didn't beat much. On board has had a lot of starts, but going very well last start.
Yeah, and was only second up this preparation, so she's probably open to greater fitness improvement out of that. Love Dean Yendall in these staying races. He gets busy on his mounts early in the race and make sure he gets every ounce out of them. So, yes, it's a tougher race today, but at least she's heading in the right direction. She's from a very astute stable.
And Miette Star, first go at this trip ever in its career, Matt.
A couple of these are on trial at the trip, the next two most notably. She's been up a fair while, so she's deep into that campaign, but she has run well in the synthetic, both second and third up. Thought she was just fair last time out at 1500, but maybe it was the sign that she's now looking for 2100.
Star of Leon is up for sale. Let's hope he heads north.
He is up for sale. There's a couple of reasonable gallopers going around today that are up for sale. Got a mile back last time out here on over 1400 on the synthetic, and I thought worked to the line quite well. If he can run out the 2100, he's not the worst.
Grand Quill at a price was good last time out.
He certainly was. Comes through that same race that our favourite comes through, and Grand Quill's about 40 to 1. The favourite's $2.40. Wasn't far off him on that occasion. So for that, not just that reason, but on that run, I put him in as a roughie who I think can figure at a price.
A bet red away from wet ground and also gets the blinkers off.
I think that's the key, getting away from the wet ground. Going to roll forward, make its own luck up on speed. Another one who's probably a little query at the trip, but at least you know where he'll be in the run.
Young Hostess will run the trip out, and she's yet to miss a place at this track.
Yeah, certainly well. And as I referenced in the little preview we did prior, she has won off a 6-week break before at this track and distance. So don't worry about that 42 days between runs.
Recap of the selections, Matty.
I've got the favourite on top, Taramansour, well enough found now. I think the stablemate Jenkins is the danger. Grand Quill worth including in wider exotics. Steel Skies will be up on speed and in it a long way.
This market update is brought to you by Bet365.
Righto, the backhoe's out, $2.60 about the favourite here. Jenkins $7, Young Hostess $9, blowing in the betting. Bet red a little support. Dreambound punter saying that race wasn't too flash last time out. Steel Skies might be some value at $10. Matty Kamani's got a stranglehold in the last. Well, punters hope it's the right one that's going to win. Let's find out more with Kate.
Yeah, certainly does have a stranglehold here in the last. But quickly before we get to that, Manny, Opportuna, a horse of yours who finished third in race number 4. Really nice return after 21 months out from a broken pelvis. That was a nice return.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, luckily her pelvis injury wasn't that bad a one, but she's since had a couple of other little niggles and things that just kept her off the track. But terrific to see her. And she was still quite a big girl. You know, I think she'll take a lot from that. She had a good blow after it, had a high heart rate. But I think we'll see her really put it together in the next couple of races.
Let's get right into these two. Taramansour, we'd love to see him. I've been on course those 2 starts that he's had as well. You had him in at Bendigo. We know that he's going to get out in trip. You had him in for 2400, scratch from there, staying at the 21 here. Why'd you make that call?
Yeah, a couple of reasons. First of all, when he first ran here in Australia, he ran at Bendigo and he got really wound up in the tie-ups there. I think it was probably just his first experience of Australian racing and tie-ups, and I'd like to think he's now good, and he's been very good today, and he was better in his previous run here. So we just thought keep him to a track we know he's nice and relaxed at. Also, I wasn't too keen on the wide gate at Bendigo on what could have been a heavy track, and up in distance and a wide gate. I just was worried about where he might sit in running. Today we got a low draw, which is probably not great either, because I've seen a couple of favourites today get beat by getting stuck on the rail here. So I'm really hopeful that Fred manages to keep him out somewhere where he's got a bit of room. And even if he were to lead, I don't mind, just however he comes out the gate. But so long as he can get into a bit of room, maybe pop off the leaders and follow them down the straight, and then build up momentum, and hopefully he'll finish off well.
He is a lovely horse. Is it just that keeping him out of trouble?
Exactly. Well, I hope so. Look, I don't know. I mean, I think if the other horse hadn't been in it last time here, he would have won by quite a margin. So I'm hopeful he can do the same thing again today. But he's still a horse we're learning a lot about and sort of figuring him out. So anything could happen.
Ideally, we see him, as you're saying, lead just off the leader. Your other runner, Jenkins, a 6-year-old son of Piero, steps up in trip. He gets back and can be slow away. Are you hoping a little bit more positive to start?
He's a very frustrating horse, Jenkins, because he's quite often finishing off really well. He always puts in, he always tries hard, but he's always slow at the gate. Quite often wanted to step him up to this distance, but on the few occasions we have, it's been a heavy track and he hasn't quite handled it. So we've been a bit nervous about doing it again, but hopefully he'll run well today.
Well done. Good luck.
Thanks.
Let's go to Matty for the call.
So a couple to get set here, Kate, for the last. We're not far away for the 8th and last, the high gain winner's choice. Benchmark 64, Taramansour, third run in Australia. Had one in Ireland before coming here. So Strips fitter here, drawn the inside as Dan State will complete the line. Celine Gaudray with a memorable day, notching up her 50th career win earlier on in race 6 and then won the previous as well. Set to go for the last. Ready, signal, off they go. Dance Date through the head up in the air. Didn't miss it by a great deal. Steel Skies began well, with also in the middle Rocky Raccoon and not far away Dreambound on the inside. Taramansour fourth on the fence, going to boot up looking for the box seat. Miette Star deeper, then Star of Leon, 2 lengths Grand Quill, 3 deep around Bet Red accordingly, and then Young Hostess. Towards the end of the field, leaving the straight as Jenkins with the white distinguishing cap and Dance Date from that wide alley snick back to the end. Rocky Raccoon taken on by Miette Star, and as they swing to the back section of the track at the 1450, Miette Star crossed and led Rocky Raccoon and Steel Skies, the length Taramansour tucked in. Fifth one off the fence as they head to the back as Dreambound, and then came Star of Leon over racing, a length away Grand Quill accordingly as they slowed it up from Bet Red, and then came along the inner Jenkins. Second last Young Hostess, Dance Date last. Down the back section, 1200 to go, Miette Star, a length Steel Skies, Rocky Raccoon, box seats third. Fourth Dreambound outside of Taramansour, 2 lengths Star of Leon, and then Grand Quill, a couple accordingly Bet Red. Then Young Hostess towards the end of the field. Second last is Jenkins and last is Dance Date. Off the back with about 800 metres to go, Miette Star, 3/4 Steel Skies getting closer, Rocky Raccoon third, and then Dreambound and Taramansour. A length and a half Grand Quill, Star of Leon, 2.5 Bet Red accordingly, Young Hostess, Dance Date, and last Jenkins approaching the turn, Miette Star. 600 metres to go, about to sool it up just in front of Steel Skies. Dreambound is dug up out 3 wide, making a run now. Taramansour's off the fence importantly and got to fourth, just needs a bit of luck now. Then Rocky Raccoon, Star of Leon, Grand Quill, Bet Red accordingly. Jenkins in the straight. Steel Skies at the 300 metres takes the lead and tried to sprint away from the favourite Taramansour, who's still got a length and a half to pick up, and then Miette Star at the 150. Taramansour accelerates through and takes the lead from Steel Skies, and then Dreambound, Taramansour, hands and heels to the line, and a cheeky look will win by half a length. Taramansour from Steel Skies, and 4 lengths away in third place Miette Star. Then Dreambound, next Rocky Raccoon in company with Star of Leon and also Jenkins, then accordingly Young Hostess, Bet Red, and last Dance Date. It was Taramansour. Cheeky look from Fred Kersley. He knew the horse was home and hosed in the final 50 metres and almost shut the horse down late. Trained by Matt Kamani, ridden by Fred Kersley, who notches up an interesting double today. He scored earlier on Maramenko, the former Hong Kong galloper for Team Hawkes in race number 2, and here in the last, the former Irish galloper Taramansour. Importantly, got off the fence approaching the turn as well, and the horse was able to show its turn of foot at the 200 metres. Steel Skies attempted to steal it with Daniel Moore aboard, but Taramansour had it covered and has won pretty confidently on the line. 3, 9, 13 and 12. 3, 9, 13 and 12. Taramansour defeats Steel Skies. Daniel Moore for Matthew Ellerton and Simon Zara. Third, 13, Miette Star. Jack Hill for Robert Hickman after leading. Fourth, 12, Dreambound. Dean Yendall for Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. Fifth, 15, Grand Quill. Sixth, number 8, Rocky Raccoon. 3/4 of a length by 3 3/4. 3/4 by 3 3/4. 2:13.79, a double for Fred Kersley on this Tuesday, 3, 9, 13 and 12. All right, it's been a pleasure being with you. We'll see you from Sandown tomorrow as we head down to Matt Kamadi talking to Kate Watts.
And Matt Hill, it's been a pleasure having you. Great to have you back calling the racing here. As I move to Matt Kamani, Taramansour gets the first win here in Australia. We've been waiting to see it, and that was nice. Nice Fred, hands and heels to the finish.
Yeah, it was great. I thought Fred was a bit confident to the line there, but he obviously gave him a really good feel. It'd be interesting to get the feedback. Great to see him do that. We thought he would. I was a bit nervous at some points that he was going to get stuck, but he, as Matt Hill said, burst through and he did it well. It was a bit disappointing that Jenkins probably didn't quite get into the race as we'd hoped. It looked like quite a fast run race, and he just probably got left behind a little bit. I think he was finishing off well, but I think he merits another chance at that distance.
That's what we know. Jenkins closes off strongly, promises a bit. It can be that. Taramansour, second straight run at the trip. It was a little bit of we're maybe going to put him out to the 24th for this third up performance, but he stayed there. We're going to see him out again further. Do you start to map the real spring plan now that we've had the 3 runs here and done nicely in Australia?
I think so. I mean, I think we want to keep it quite real for the spring. I think we'll just sort of take him through his grades, and then when he's ready to go out for a break, give him a break. I haven't necessarily got any sort of hard fixed nice targets in the spring, but we'll keep going as long as he's handling it well and going well. Really, the spring next year is the one that I'm really looking at for him. I think he's a horse that will keep improving, keep building to that. We'll just keep him nice and sound and happy, and try and win a few races on the way through.
What do you see his optimal trip getting out to?
Well, I think 2400, I think of research. I just love his action. He's got such a beautiful big action. You could see it there. At some points it looked like he was almost pulling a bit despite the tempo, but just really gobbling up the ground well. And it's nice to see a horse with a big action like that also have a bit of a sprint, and when he got a bit of clean air, he accelerated quite nicely. It's great to see. If he can do that over 24, he's gonna keep going, get better and better. And it's great to have that for big owners in Regal Bloodstock. Mark Burkhardt and his team. It's fantastic. We've got some great owners of our own in this horse as well, so hopefully he'll give us a lot of fun going forward.
Oh, certainly will. And interesting, as you said, that it's going to be more the next spring that we're going to be looking at him. So
I think so. I mean, we didn't put him in any of the really big races, but hopefully he can get to some of the nicer, some of the nice races during the spring. But equally, I'm perfectly happy if we just win a few nice benchmark races for now, and then look at some of the bigger ones in future preps.
Nothing wrong with being patient. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Kate.
Wait for Fred Kersley to make his way over here. A double today. Some really nice chances here. Taramansour, a horse he knows so well, and he was confident to the line. Great to have Matty Hill calling here, as we've touched on a couple of times today. He got excited there. You had the big call from Matty Hill there. He was pretty excited. You got the gap and you were confident to the line.
Look, I was. Thankfully, I really knew the horse I had underneath me. He's improved from each run he's had. He probably went the races first up underdone, but like these stays in Matt's care, they build, and they'll really be hitting their straps third and fourth up, and today third up. I was confident with him.
2 nice wins from you today, and you could have ridden 2 nice ones, it seems like, underneath. They both give you a pretty good feel.
Yeah, they did. Look, the Hawks runner, he again, if he can take that next step, it wouldn't surprise me if we see him running around on Saturdays, and especially this fella here. As I said earlier in the day, this fella was probably about 80% fit last start, and he's come here today and he's done it nicely. I was quite confident at the top of the lane. When Daniel Moore wanted to go a little bit early, it really gave me something to run down, and on the line it felt like there was still some left in hand, so it's a good sign for a stayer.
Matt was saying still so much improvement to come, obviously we know with these stayers, but also that 2400 he thinks might be that optimal trip, and we might not even see the real top of him now until next spring and times to come.
Yeah, look, he's still very immature. he had a good look at the barriers coming down the straight. He still does a bit wrong, but you know, he's a nice horse going forward. He's got good tactical speed. He's versatile, and we've seen him now. He's fit. There's still more improvement, and he's winning nicely.
You too as well, winning nicely. Congratulations.
Thanks guys.
Okay, good on you, Kate. Let's go back and have a look at this. The favourite was always travelling well, back to the fence, which hasn't been the place to be, but in staying races, it's a little bit different, Matty.
Yeah, really nice ride this by Fred Kersley. He goes home with a double today. Taramansour drew the inside. He was nice and aggressive early. He was keen to get leaders back, but ultimately a few worked forward and just got him into a slightly awkward spot coming around the home bend, but he did a really good job to extricate Taramansour to clean air in time. He had to go inside Steel Skies. Geez, he's a big boy, Steel Skies, TB. He's up here outside the leader, the son of Fiorente. He'll just stay all day. There's Miette Star, ends up working to the lead, and you've got
pulling
Archie's...
hard.
Sorry?
Miette Star was pulling very hard.
Yes,
early.
was, and did the right thing rolling forward. And then you've got Matt Kamani's other horse back there in second last in Jenkins, who he spoke about. We might just roll it forward to about the 800 metre mark. So there is Miette Star, Steel Skies, and there's the favourite. So buried away 3 back the fence because Miette Star crossed to the front, but I thought he did everything right. Fred Kersley, he was keen to get off the fence as early as he possibly could, and as Matty Hill alluded to, he had by this stage, look at that, he's just popped off the fence. He had designs on going around Steel Skies, I think, but ultimately ducked back to the inside, and he showed a really nice turn of foot, this horse, and he looked like he was going to go on and win by a couple of lengths. I think it was a combination of him switching off and also Fred Kersley being very kind to him over the concluding stages that the margin got quite close again on the line. Steel Skies just stays all day. Miette Star out at this trip, battled on okay, up on speed. TB, Ground Quill got home reasonably well, but he's a stayer of some promise, and Steel Skies I think is going quite well because he set a really fast tempo at Sale, battled on okay. You've got a big gap back to third there, so really nice performance from him as well.
Okay, let's go back and say goodbye to Kate. How's the day been, Kate?
Oh, it's been great, Terry, and you doubted. You said it'd be raining, there'd be no sun now at Ballarat, but it's a beautiful conditions, and Taramansour, as Matt said, a stayer of promise, takes out the last beautiful day here.
And when are we going to see your dulcet tones, hear your dulcet tones in your face again?
I will be hosting at Sale on Thursday with my partner in crime, Warren, so hopefully it'll be a good day and this beautiful weather will continue. But I like you having a bit of an opinion, Terry, you know, don't keep it up, and I appreciate it here. I've had a few people complain on course to me that I've got to speak to you about stuff, but apart from that, you're doing well.
Well, Kate, you're the best at throwing people under the bus. The truck's run over me 4 or 5 times. Good on you, Kate. I'll see you at Sale with more good news.
I love Tuesdays with Terry.
We've got plenty coming up. Sexual Stars is coming on a bit later as well, Matty. We've got program tomorrow at Hillside.
Sandown tomorrow.
It is a
really
good meeting, isn't it? Yep. Looking forward to it. Listen, we're going to do it all again next week and hoping to have a very special guest on the program. I hope you've enjoyed the program. On behalf of the team, see you next week. Bye for now.